Hello everyone and Happy New Year. I'm glad to be back and I'm sorry I took a little extra time off, but after our honeymoon I just needed a couple extra weeks to resettle into life and get a lot of things taken care of before I could come back into doing YouTube stuff. Some of that stuff included packing a lot of boxes, thus lots of packing material here, and all over my tables as well. Now this is just a few, my other table to the side has more packages, but here's a little peek at what our Patreon members are getting. This is to end out the 2024 year. I know we're already into January 2025, but this is for the last few months of Patreon. Let me show you what our members are going to be getting. Everyone, including the lower tier members, will be getting some gold in a jar, along with the jars of gold that all paid members are going to be getting. You're going to get some samples of the Bali calcite. So this is the calcite that I found while I was in Bali. We'll take a look at this in the UV at the end here. Oops. You'll also get a sample of the Cali calcite. And this is the one I found right before I left for Bali. Found some really cool calcites with nice crystals on there. Some of them had a little bit of like a grape agate appearance, which we'll look at in a moment too. You're going to get some Canadian chert. And a few of you will get some random cabochons here, depending on your tier level, for the higher tier members. And then you'll get some turtle shell as well. So the turtle shell this go around is just for the higher tier members. So like Little Moon, Thomas Leha, Gems, and Jeff will get some turtle bone this time. But the next reward's coming up in end of February or start of March, when I send out the first of the 2025 rewards. You will all get to see some turtle shell, even the lowest end, like $5 members. Everyone will get a little piece of turtle shell that go around. So, a few other little random goodies here. Some people got some like random amethyst stuff. Here's a shell from Bali. Another shell from Bali. Jeff got a shell from Bali. Jeff's is a little bigger. He's donated a little more than anyone else, so he gets some bigger pieces. He gets that really fun one that I found here in California that looks kind of like grape. It's also got these little tiny rectangles on it. I don't know what those other little crystals are. It's cool though. I also made a pay dirt for Jeff. I guess I can throw the clip in here I initially made. I'm refilming this, but I dumped the gold for Jeff in this pay dirt, and I'm going to mix it up and send him this jar. It's got some agates, some tiger's eye, some other little goodies in there for him to find as well while he's panning that out. And he gets a big old chunk of calcite and coral from Bali. And then also this big old tower. No one bought this massive 17-inch tower, so I told Jeff that if no one claimed it on my live sales, it was going to go to him. So, if you had wanted this tower, I am sorry you missed out, but maybe you can convince Jeff to sell it. So if it wasn't obvious, this go-around was all about the gold. Everyone gets some gold, and that is the most valuable thing in these boxes, really. Even the $5 members, you got $8 worth of gold, and the next tier up got like $16 worth of gold, and a little more and a little more. So because it's a few months worth of rewards, you got more than 1 month worth of what would be like little gold. Plus, like a couple dollars worth of gold doesn't look that great. At least having enough in there to make a little something in the bottle, I thought made more sense. No one wants just a couple little pieces of gold, or maybe you do, I don't know. I could be totally wrong. But I thought it'd be a little more fun to do it this way, and everyone gets a good little amount of gold. Maybe it's the first gold you've ever had to start your collection. Maybe it's something you can pawn off on another collector or trade for something. If you want an exact measurement and don't have a scale, contact me. I wrote down everyone's gold measurement. I gotta hide Jeff's here. So I wrote down everyone's measurement. I'm hiding Jeff's because he doesn't want me to reveal the amount in his until he's panned it out to see if he got it all. So that'll be a little extra fun we're gonna do here, is after you've watched this video, it's gonna be a while because it's gonna be up like the same day I film it, but I'm gonna ship this off to Jeff today or tomorrow, and then hopefully he'll get it real soon, be able to pan it out one of these weekends real soon, and then you can watch on his channel and see what other agates and stones I put in there and see if he finds all of the gold. Thanks for sticking around and watching today. And if you made it this far, I'd like to let you know I do have some live sales coming up. I know it's been quite a while. I kind of chose to take 2024 off of really doing any live sales, but they're coming back. I am, one, going to be trying to fund my trip to Quartzsite, but two, going to be getting some things in Quartzsite. Not really just for selling, I'm mostly going to be purchasing stuff in Quartzsite to send to other channels and to send to Patreon members as rewards. But I am thinking of extending a slight offer if anyone wants to like buy very specific things and not just like one or two $1 items, but like actually buy some stuff in Quartzsite but can't go, feel free to hit me up. And if my list isn't already too big, it's growing quick with people, but if my list isn't too large, I will add you on there and what you want. And if you can prepay before I go to Quartzsite, I will shop for you and I will buy what you want. And yeah, we can go from there. I'm a little hesitant to throw this offer out here to get like 30 people coming at me, but we'll see what happens. I've had a couple already, and if a few more people would like me to do some shopping for you while I'm in Quartzsite, I'd love to. Now, as far as Quartzsite, when will I be there? When should you go there? Well, Quartzsite is a very long show. As you know, it's already started, and it goes through February. Or if you don't know, check it out. When you go online, it can be a little confusing, and you look at the calendars for the Quartzsite show, you're like, oh, it's only 3 days. Well, this one says it's 2 months. Well, this one says it's 2 weeks. It's weird because it's a very large event with multiple different shows taking place within the event, just like the Tucson show. So when you look up shows that are at Quartzsite, it might say that they're only a 3-day or 1-week show, leading to some confusion that has some people think they've got to rush a Quartzsite for those days and those days only, when in fact it's like a 2-month-long show through January and February. So my plan is to go for February 7th, 8th, and 9th, which is the gold and treasure collecting whatever days. So it's a lot more about the gold panning, the metal detecting, and I'm hoping that they'll have a good deal on some new metal detectors, because my plan this year has been to buy a brand new metal detector that works really well with seawater, because the current one I have just doesn't work too well with the ocean water. It gets a bit of interference, and that's not really what you want when you're out detecting on the beaches, to just have everything screaming away at you. So, if you plan on being in Quartzsite around those dates, let me know and maybe we'll see if we can't meet up at one of the shows. Other than that, I will be trying to meet up with a few channels I know and, seeing them, maybe doing a video with them, maybe doing some hounding or some gold mining out in the wild in AZ. I don't think that I'll spend every day going to the Quartzsite shows. My overall plan has been to hopefully meet up with like AZ Rockhound Expeditions, maybe Mike Vendetta Prospecting, and if I'm lucky, LXR. So that's just to start. If any of you are going and want to let me know, be sure to contact me. Either leave a comment here or hit me up on the Discord, send me an email. Many of you who know me know how you can get a hold of me. All right, I'm gonna bring it in a little closer for the ending here. Get a little serious with you. Not really, I'm just kidding. There's no seriousness here. What I am gonna tell you though is this year I've got a lot planned. Aside from a not so great trip to Florida, we're gonna turn it into hopefully a semi-nice trip. We have a funeral in Florida later in the summer, but we might stay for a week and turn that into like a bit of a beach trip as well. I'll see what I can do about maybe see if we're staying anywhere near where those fossilized corals are or what's in the area. Maybe I'll take my new metal detector and do some beach detecting. And aside from this first trip to Arizona for Quartzsite, I am planning on potentially a second, if not a third trip this year, also to Arizona. I don't know why, but I've got Arizona on the brain. It could be because of Rockhound Expeditions channel, AZ Rockhounds, like Julie and Brian. It might just be all the stuff they're showing off. Plus I've got a few friends down there who do gold mining, gold panning and stuff. And for some reason, I can't get Arizona out of my mind lately. It's so close. I can get a round trip flight there for, if I want to fly Frontier with no bags, it's like $50 to $100 for a round trip. But that includes 0 bags, not even a carry-on, not even a personal bag. So then they charge for all that. But so around $150 to $200, I can get a very nice round trip flight with bags to and from Arizona back here. So definitely think I'm gonna make a couple trips and not just drive out there. It'll save a little time to fly out there and rent a car. And aside from those ones, I'd also like to not officially announce, but kind of tell you my plan is to have an Oregon dig and a Utah dig this year that would be public event digs that anyone would be welcome to join with. The biggest problem is I don't know when these are. I'm not sure when I'll be able to make it to Utah or Oregon, but I am trying to plan them out before my school starts in the fall. Hey, I'm that lookalike guy who's wearing a different colored shirt. Definitely not just because it's a different day now. But I screwed some things up and I'm not actually starting classes when I thought. So cutting out all of this next part that I put in here, and we're just gonna jump ahead and ignore what I just said about school. But keep an eye on the channel if you're interested in joining me for those digs, and I will most definitely put up some announcements here and on the Discord and advertise them throughout all my videos, and not just mention it once. I'll say, don't forget we got the big dig coming up at Topaz Mountain on this day. Oh, and that's a little hint drop, I guess. So Topaz Mountain is my first plan for Utah. If there's time and if I can make a long enough trip, we'll do a Topaz Mountain and Dugway dig event. But for now, I like the idea of having the public dig events being at pay-to-dig sites. Partly for liability reasons, I don't want to invite a bunch of people out and then be the responsible party. If you go to a pay-to-dig site, you pay them and you sign the waivers, liability's not on me. And as fun as it sounds to have a lot of people out, it would be horrible if something happened, and I just gotta cover my butt. So we're going to pay-to-dig sites this year. Maybe next year I'll see about taking y'all to some private claims of other people I know. But stick around, it's going to be a wonderful year, a lot of great stuff. We've got the huge discovery I haven't really talked about on my channel yet much, which is the turtle shell, and I'll have more of the turtle shell fossils coming very soon from my brother, and then that'll be one of the trips I'm making out to Utah, is to go see that stuff in situ myself, and finally, like, maybe get to show you guys a little more sneak peek of where these bones are coming out of. I've got some really old videos, but I didn't record a lot when we were out there finding stuff, and we didn't realize some of what we were finding was bone years ago. But I did look back at some of my old clips and I went, oh my goodness, that rock that I picked up definitely looked like dinosaur bone and I missed it. But we are looking at an exciting new year. I've also got my new microscope, so I'm quite joyed at the prospect of joining Karen, Ken, and others who have also been getting new microscopes on the Microzone podcast, as well as getting to show you all some nice microscope shots here on my channel. So that's all I've got for you today. I know it wasn't super exciting and full of rocks, so before we go, I appreciate you sticking it out this far. So I'm going to show you some stuff in the UV that is going out to everyone. The UV will be the Kali calcite and the Bali calcite, and I think that's about it for this one, actually. I'll see y'all later. Bye. So this is that Bali calcite. It really pops in the UV, and some of it's got a really nice phosphorescent linger. It's a little bit bright in here to see it, unfortunately, but you'll have to trust me on that. Some of this calcite is very, very clear. Some of it's kind of a honey yellow color. Wow, see, that one really pops more. Oh, wow, you can see the phosphorescence on that one in the daytime. Look at that, it glows way more, it's more reactive, and it has a really bright linger. So there's a few more rocks and shells I also brought home from Bali. We'll take a look at those. But here's some of the Kali calcite, and you can see the red in there. So this is off one of the beaches here in California, and those calcite blades have really nice red going on. It's very cool. That's the kind of grape agate one. That's the Bali calcite. It glows pretty bright, as well as what I believe is the coral base to it. A few other glowers here, a little more of that Kali calcite. This one's a little more pink than red. How about this one? Oh, my camera is like saturating. Okay. Well, there's a little more red than my camera's showing in this one. That's really weird. Well, that one's got way more red. Huh. Weird that it would do that on the camera. That's some of the Bali calcite. Let's see if this one phosphoresces. Oh yeah, it does. It like blew out the camera there. The Canadian shirt glows. And I neglected to mention, but all of these will be labeled in your boxes, so everything will be labeled, and I want you all to check out the Canadian shirt up close, because I definitely sent out some fossils there, and the Canadian shirt is definitely full of some sort of microfossils. I haven't really identified them, but there's quite a few in there, so take a little peek at there and see what you find. And if you find any cool fossils in the ones you cut open, like the whole nodules, if any of you cut them open and find something cool in there, please be sure to share it with me. I would love to know what you find. And with that, I will see y'all later, but here's a little peek at one of the next videos. We've got all sorts of new gypsum. That's some like Canadian Euperlite looking stuff. Here, I'll give you a peek. Look at this. Boom! Look at that. And then we've got some really cool, some more gypsums. I got like 4 kinds of cool gypsum. Got some salamoline. We got some raw silver, got some tourmaline. Ooh, there's some goodies for the next video. Again, thank you so much to my Patreon members. I appreciate y'all, and here's to another great year of goodies going out to y'all. Cheers.